Hey, just wanted to hop on and do a longer YouTube video. So much has happened here already in the jungle here in Talamanca. And I thought before I came here, I thought, am I over using that word? I'm going to the jungle. I'm going to the jungle. Oh my gosh, I could cry because no, I'm not. It's like it's literally in the middle of the jungle in Talamanca. And even the process and the journey to get here, literally from driving in from the airport, it ended up taking the James and Larkin, the young administrative coordinator, um, host. She does so many things here. They came to pick me up at the airport when I arrived in San Jose, and what was to be a 4-hour trip ended up being like I think an almost 8-hour trip. They said. So we ended up getting a motel room that night, and we all stayed there. And then the next morning headed out, which was again another 7-8 hours to get into just the part of the area in Talamanca where we would have to stop, drive in a very, very rough road, and get to sorry, uh, the edge of the river, and just up a bit and across the river was where we would dock, if that's what you want to call it, and get off this river. Like, these boats are like these very, very shallow little boats, very long boats that they transport everything. They transport people on motorbikes to get across into the jungle area to the specific spots where they live and work. Cargo, bananas, like tons and tons and tons of bananas they have to transport. Us as, what I just heard, us as in as people, like, people literally use these boats back and forth, and they pay the people each time we go. So yeah, getting my suitcase across over to the other side as well. It's amazing how these people use so many things and utilize like motorbikes and walking. There's so much walking. Like the young man, oh my gosh, I forget his name, that's been here all week with us, who works right here at the nest. Literally, him and James got on this little motorbike and carried my heavy, heavy freaking suitcase in here. Well, Larkin and I walked in from the riverside, from the shoreline into the where the actual nest is, and there's a gate because it's very protected and it's very secluded and set back. Like, every time we left the nest, we had an incline, like literal incline of a hill. I'm not going to say it was straight up and down, but there might have been a bit of a slant on it. But I'm looking up and I'm going, oh my gosh, I have to climb that. And by day 5, I was doing it, but my legs were burning, and I was huffing and puffing, and it was a real challenge, and it really stretched me. I know the Lord sent me here. One of the reasons, and I don't even know many of them yet, and that's the exciting part of following God's voice and going where He's called you to go, is stretching me in my physical. I have been like so stretched physically. It's unbelievable. I've never exerted and worked and walked and hiked and done so much in all my life. Maybe when I was younger, but I mean, but then you add to it the humidity, the intense heat and humidity, where, back in Canada, I hated that humidity in my apartment in the summer up there. Back home would get up to like 91 degrees, and I'd be wah boo-hoo crying, because it was freaking hot. But here it's like this all the time. Some days hotter than others. But yeah, just getting in here is a real challenge. And the mud here, I'd have to say, is a different type of clay type soft mud. Once that mud is wet, that baby is like slippery. And of course, stupid white girl the other day didn't take her rubbers when going into town and coming back, and it had rained, and so there I am walking through certain parts of the washed out roads in like a foot of water in my running shoes, and then going into the nest through this gate and up the trail and going up towards the incline. It is so slippery. And of course, I've got kind of a longer skirt on, because I have just spoken at one of the churches in town in Talamanca, to share my testimony, which was amazing. The presence of the Lord was so strong as soon as I walked into that little church, and there might have been 25 people, and they're worshiping, and it was just beautiful. But yeah, there I am in my runners and my skirt and slipping and sliding in the mud, which is, like I said, as soon as it rains, it's like that everywhere. And didn't take my rubbers. And I'm a rubber girl. I am a rubber girl. Back home, I have 2 pair of rubbers that I love to wear when I'm getting in the dirty and in the wet and having to traipse through different things. So anyway, just that whole adventure of yesterday, which was initially to get eggs that we had that they sell here into the town to sell them, took I think she said Larkin said 420 eggs that we had to label and pack and wrap and then drive out on a motorbike in between the driver and us on this little motorbike with all these eggs. Like each of us had crates of about 200 eggs, and drive from the gate of the nest out to the riverside where they had to get on the boat, and then the boat goes across the river, and then from there we have to walk them in to get an actual vehicle, and the vehicles here are crap. They're not they're not overly reliable, and it's a hard life, really hard life here. So we get the eggs to the truck, and then we drive quite a ways into the little town, which is the town on my hat here, and we finally drop off the eggs through massive, intense, crazy traffic, which again took us so long. Everything here, everything is intentional that they have to do. Everything takes so long to do. Things back home, like going to the bank and opening up a bank account or talking to your teller about a mishap on your account or something, that for them here can take sometimes 3 days. So that's a trip of so the founders here, Karina and James, Karina going into the town to do banking and having to come back the next day or a couple days later to finish that appointment, and then possibly coming back again. Like I'm overwhelmed at the way these people have to live. And I don't even think that they think it's just, it is what it is. It's what they do. They are such hard workers. They take so much pride in every single thing that they do, and I know that's where the Lord is stretching me too. I am a grateful person, and I don't need much to make me happy material wise and all those things, but this has been a stretch, and it's been amazing. And I did say to the Lord a number of times over the last month or two, send me, Lord, change me, and I don't want to come back if I'm not changed. So I believe I have been, and in many ways, and even intricate ways that I don't even know about, that the Lord's just gonna, like, I'm gonna get home and I'm gonna go, wow. And that's the exciting part. I got God bumps everywhere. What else can I share with you? There's so much, and I'm trying to journal as much as I can. I wouldn't say that there's not time to journal, but the intensity of the heat is actually making me a little bit foggy and not really able to concentrate as well. So I haven't even really been into scripture that much here, but been sleeping with my Bible and sleeping with Bobby. Bobby is the what you would call the family cat at the nest. There's 6 dogs here. There's Heinz, what do they call them? Heinz 57 dogs. There's 6 of them here. And they are not big dogs, but they are small dogs, but mighty. They are the guard dogs here. At night, halfway through the night, if I have to go to the washroom, which is a little walk, you will look out on the little, the little deck part or porch part that's wrapped around our huts here, and you'll see every so many feet these dogs are laying there, and they're guarding. Like Larkin, Karina, and them say that, like, these dogs are guarding us, they're protecting us. And then the nights that they get up, you'll be in a sound sleep, which I've been sleeping quite well here, except for this Bobby cat that I'm going to tell you about, and the dogs. I thought I was going to be challenged with the jungle animals, and like what was going to get in my window. Was there going to be a monkey? Was there going to be a tarantula? Was there going to be some other sort of creature crawling in? And it's actually the domestic animals here, the dogs. There's little, maybe I can even show you here. This is the little, the window part that's there's no screen or anything, just that little bit of a curtain, and it's like a little beehive type of wood woodwork that they've done. And the little dogs actually are trying to get in here at night to sleep under my bed, or well, Larkin says sleep with me, so I have to kind of shoo them away. But Bobby the cat has got attitude, and we know cats do, right? I'm much more a dog person. Bobby's got attitude, and if he thinks he's coming in that one of those holes and he's sleeping on the top bunk here, he's doing it. But the first night I was here, I think it was the first night, possibly the second. Everything's blending together here. Bobby gets in, but I don't hear him getting in from the window up to the top bunk, which has plastic on top of it. And all of a sudden I'm awake and I'm hearing these prints, or these steps of the plastic moving up top. Well, talk about crap my pants again. And Larkin is in the next hut, and I'm like, Larkin, there's something on top of my bed. And I didn't bother her right away. I just thought, but I was pretty freaked out because I didn't know what was up there. And she says, oh, really calmly, she says, oh, that's just Bobby. So it's the cat. And so now the last couple nights previous to this, he's climbing through the window again. And I gave in, and I couldn't fight him anymore. Because like I said, this cat has a special personality. And so I said, okay, just sleep on the top bunk there, because he can't really get into mine here because it's kind of surrounded with mosquito net and that. And I think I totally lost track of where I was going, but I did want to tell the Bobby cat story, and the dogs for sure. People here, they love their animals, love their animals, and they follow Larkin. All these dogs follow Larkin wherever she goes. Larkin's 23, and she's got a maturity and a heart and a passion for these people. She actually is dating right now, and most likely her fiance, one of the Bree gentlemen here, Stephen. So Stephen and Larkin are kind of in missions together, not exactly here on the nest, because Stephen does live in the closer into the town, not right here in the jungle, the deep parts of the jungle here. But Larkin, this warrior girl, she's here every day, and she's kind of my host, so she's been my sidekick. And she has been so humble and so patient, and so much wisdom, and so much like guidance. I'm thinking like, oh, I hope I'll be able to give her some of my old lady wisdom, and maybe even correction, because I love correction myself too. But I mean, it's kind of the other way, where she's teaching me so much, and she's doing it in a very humble way, and I'm learning so much from her. And I don't know. I really don't know what they would do here at the nest without Larkin, because Karina and James are so busy. They're here, but a lot of the times they're outside, going down this long journey out to the river and going in a boat across to do something else. And at this very moment, am I timing it here? I am. At this very time, they are, in a sense, rescuing a young girl. I think she's about maybe 18. Rescuing her. She's pregnant, and Karina came across her. I kind of forget the story of how she met Melanie, but Melanie was in kind of a really dangerous, difficult situation where Karina knew that this baby had to be born in a hospital, not just somewhere, because who knows what was going to happen to the baby. And so Karina got the father of the baby, which was a much older gentleman, and maybe not so nice a guy, to promise make an oath that he would allow Karina to take her into a hospital to have the baby. So long story short, they got her safely into the nest last night, and took her back out to have a doctor's appointment to see how far she was dilated. And they're actually still in town, and Larkin got word that the baby is on the way, and she probably won't be back here to the nest today, but if you can imagine what I've been talking about, this incline and this trek in here, bringing this young girl, yes, she's young, but she is pregnant and in this heat, and now at the point that the baby and her can come back in here, it's like, it just blows my mind what these people are doing to keep her safe, to keep the baby safe, and to get her in here to keep her safe. It's just amazing. So yeah, I don't know that I'll even be able to see the baby and Melanie before I leave. I'm leaving Saturday, so tomorrow's Friday, and then I'm leaving Saturday afternoon to head back to San Jose, which will be another really long drive. But I think I'll cut this video off here, and hopefully be able to make some more, and just do some journaling and have some exciting adventures and stories for you guys to come. And I'm also doing this so that I can remember and keep track. This is my audio journaling. So yeah, and quick story. There's the one young lady. What is her name? Naju is one of the first girls that they had here, and again brought her here to safety, where she was in a situation of the mother just rejecting her, the grandmother too ill and old to be able to take care of her, and her being in danger of other people in her life. Brought her in here, and Naju is the language barrier has been my biggest challenge, and what I would not do to be able to know even half or a good chunk of the Espanol language. I would do anything at this point, because it is such a barrier, and you can do all the sign language you want, and you can, because I don't have my phone here to even hop on and kind of do a translating app or something. But it's very challenging, and it's kind of breaking my heart, but I'm also trusting the Lord that Holy Spirit will give me different ways to connect with them. And I know, like, back home on my Instagram reels, I'm always talking about, a smile says everything, and a good attitude, and a handshake or a hug says says so much and conveys so much. But these people aren't really that open to want to be hugged and want to be shown affection like that, because they just don't know that. But the one beautiful thing was, I think it was the second day or third day, and Naju, she's about 15, I think. She left the kitchen after breakfast, and she turned around and she said, "Ciao." And I thought, wow, the Lord used that simple word. It's a universal word, ciao, to kind of connect together, as otherwise these people are super, super duper shy, and a little inverted, and rightfully so. I mean, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of mistrust, there's a lot of damage that has been done. It's not just to the Bree people here, it's to all of us, and to many of us and other people in other countries. But that one word, ciao, it just, it did a whole lot. So